Now I realized this morning that I talk about the outside or the front of the house and how nice and beautiful it is, and I don't think I've ever really shown it. In comparison to just about everybody else around me, which is, and so I can just show you what I mean when, we've got the nicest lot on the property to where we don't really have to deal with anyone. We work with our neighbors and we love our immediate neighbors, but we don't have anybody directly in front of us or directly beside us. I mean, it's actually kind of nice, so I thought I'd show that off. Just for funsies, I just never showed that. So there you go. Something really cool this morning for me. I weighed myself, and it's the first time in 20 years, at least, maybe 20, maybe 19, 18 years, that I've been below 230. This morning I weighed myself and I was 228. Now that might be because my stomach is empty. Any little bit of anything will make that shit rise, man. When I have this cup of coffee, it'll go up 2 pounds, guaranteed, for whatever reason. No, it was a 228 this morning. I'm very excited about that. That makes me very happy. It's just something that's not happened for a very long time, and I'm very grateful that I've been able to have that happen. What do we got here? Ooh, we got very, very little of the Highland Grog left. About 17 grams. So maybe we'll do about a 300 so that we don't drown the coffee. We'll do about 300 grams and have a smaller cup of coffee so I won't gain so much weight. I mean, if I look at potato right now, I will gain half a pound. That's just the reality of it. It's just what I've come up with. And yeah, I just weigh. I'm like, you know what? I'll just weigh myself this morning. Why not? And the hard work has paid off. I will say probably Ozempic had a lot to do with that. The amount of food that I've had to eat in order to not be hungry has been drastically reduced. The amount of exercise I've done. Yesterday, I did about 3.5 miles in 55 minutes on the elliptical, which to me is a big deal. It probably doesn't mean much to a lot of other people, but to me it's a pretty big deal. So that was exciting yesterday. Yesterday was a pretty good day. I played Red Dead Redemption back from 2004. They put it out on PC, so I streamed that last night, and I had a great time playing that. I'm going to do that again this afternoon into the evening. We're going to go to the pharmacist when he gets home, so I'll probably have to cut that short. But we're going to go to the pharmacist and see if the insurance company has done what it said it was supposed to do, which is once you reach your deductible limit, they reduce the price of the medication to 3 tiers. What was it? $25, $35, and $45. So we want them to rerun everything to see if if that happens or not. So we'll be doing that this evening. So that might not be nearly as long as it was yesterday, but tomorrow at least we'll hopefully get through the majority of the Undead Nightmare on Halloween. So that'll be a lot of fun. What a holiday that I miss. I miss Halloween. I remember the fun times that we had. Grandma and Granddad had one of those split levels that were so popular back in the 70s, 60s and 70s. Split level is you go in the main entrance, and then right exactly at the main entrance after you shut the door, you are given the choice of going upstairs or downstairs. And normally the upstairs is where the living room was, and the downstairs is where the bedrooms and another spare room and your laundry was. So, and they're not great. Maybe at the time they were, well-built, forward-thinking homes because you could put a lot more house and not dig a complete full deep basement. Getting furniture in and out an absolute nightmare because the stairs were about this wide. And they were a hazard, man. They were very straight up and straight down because you only had so much to go before you actually hit the landing, and very little room this way, but a hell of a lot of elevation. So, you know, and there are people whose families are in double, or not, I almost said double wides, but split levels. So, I mean, getting furniture up and down, moving stuff around is just a nightmare. So, very, very narrow stairs that had an extreme up and down. It's you know, it's been pretty good. This morning's been pretty good already, and it just started. So I'm pretty excited about that for me. I've got that going for me today. I had a comment saying, let's do some espressos and crema. Now that's not a bad comment, and I'm not making fun of that comment. I would absolutely love to have something like that in the house. Absolutely love it. Can't afford that. They're not cheap devices, so it's just not something that I have in the cards for the foreseeable future. I can't even get it. I mean, as much as I've loved this Encore grinder, and it's fulfilled my needs and wants, I would love to move on to something a little bit more finer grind, something a little bit more predictable in grind, and you know, it's just not in the cards for a while. So I mean, I would love to do that. I would love to do espressos, and I'd love to have a machine to do it in, but it's just not in the cards. So yeah, that would be fun, but it is not for me at the moment. All right, we'll get up to 300 here. This smells really nice. This is the Highland Grog from Bones, which I think is like a caramel and vanilla. At least that's the nose that I'm getting from it. Very caramel, vanilla forward coffee. That was really good the first time I had it. I'm gonna do the holy cannoli tomorrow because I think that's the most Halloween-y one that I've got up. Well, I got the the dusk till donuts. Oh, you know what? I'll have to bring them both down and I'll have to make a decision tomorrow. The holy cannoli was Godfather kind of themed, and then from dusk till donuts is of course vampire themed, and vampires would make sense if the fact that the Godfather on the front didn't look spooky as hell because it's basically a skeleton with hair on its head. So we'll have to figure that out tomorrow. That is a tomorrow problem. Today we've got the Highland Grog. We don't have much of it. Disappointing. But, you know, you get those small little 4-ounce sampler bags. It's unfortunate that they end, but it's also kind of nice because you get through it. Sometimes you get a couple of bags of coffee, and you don't get through the bags of coffee by the time they start going a little stale. That's always been a little depressing. So it's actually kind of nice to have these small sample bags where you can finish a bag and, you know, guarantee that you can have multiple bags and get through them. So if you're doing 1 cup of coffee a day like I do, or 1 cup of coffee every, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, depending on what's going on. So yeah, pretty excited about that. And this is something funny. So we get these soaps from, what is it, Tilton Hollow Farm. And I mean, here's a QR code for information and whatnot. It's goat soap, and it smells fantastic. They have this coffee one that doesn't smell like coffee. It actually just smells like warming spices. Very chai, very cinnamon, very, you know, kind of like that. And it's just the most wonderful smelling soap. And they last for a little bit, probably about 3 weeks. They last, and then they have a lavender one, and they've got just all of these. They have a beekeeper's one that smells like kind of honey-ish with other scents in it. Very floral. It's really nice. They're beautiful soaps, and they work really well. And we ordered some new stuff because we got through all of the other the stuff that we'd ordered prior, and this stuff arrived incredibly quickly. Their logistics seems to be getting so much better that they actually changed the boxes, so now they're actually like boxes, which is really nice. That kind of a spoiler with what I'm going to talk about here. So they sent us an ornament for Christmas, because they're like, the theme is kind of like, you know, you write what you want and then it equals joy, and then it's a sticker, which is really nice. But then we got the sticker and the Christmas ornament, and I saw which, and wow. So TiltonHollow.com, really cool soaps and some other stuff. Really, they use goat milk to make the soaps and whatnot. But yeah, that's it's a little Satan-y, a little Satan-y. That's, which, you know, I don't mind. I'm fine with it. It's cool. It's just really kind of funny. It's a sticker with acrylic in front of it. Really well done. No sharp edges, which is nice. A little hole for a hook to go in, and then the sticker. It's a little on the nose. That's very evil looking, you know. But I love it. I won't complain. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's hilarious. We opened that up and I looked at it and I'm like, that's very Satan-y. If you believe in such things. All right, 5 minutes. 5 minutes of a brew. Let's skidoo. Oops, hang on. I can get it on there. There we go. 5 minutes of a brew. Let's skidoo. I got my rant out yesterday, so I really don't feel like I need to do anymore, at least now, at least until they release some new commercials, or that jackass says something even worse that just irritates the hell out of me. So, and that's all I'm going to say about that today. Such a nice caramel flavor to it, and some wonderful little vanilla hits too as you drink it. The Highland Grog is definitely a lot of fun. Not a surprise. I've had a Highland Grog before from somebody else, and it was delicious. Kind of had the same thing going on, but there's just something that Bones Coffee does just a little bit more. You know, there's just a little bit more going on with it. It's not that it's complex, or, you know, there's just more flavor to it. So it's not so much hints or notes even as it is. Here is a tray full of caramel. Here is a shot of vanilla to go with that tray full of caramel. And good luck with your sugar shock that's about to happen, you know. But you don't get that with this because there's no added sugar. It's just flavor. And it's super, super nice. I really like it. So yesterday's were a little long because the rant just didn't stop. I actually cut out a good 15 minutes of that entire video because of words. So we'll keep this one a little shorter today, and then tomorrow we'll try to do a normal length one as I choose between the Holy Cannoli and the From Dusk Till Donuts with the raspberry. I'm a spoiler. I may just go from Dusk Till Donuts and save the cannoli for next week, because that cannoli is delicious. It's a really good, creamy, flavorful coffee. They were mowing this morning. They aerated yesterday. The whole concept of what goes on for lawn care is just ridiculous. You know, there are some really weird spots in our inconsistent lawns, even though they were laid in squares when we first moved in. The grass came from some nursery, and they were laid in squares, stitched together basically. The inconsistency is really weird. And then there are spots where like this bay window right here, it overhangs just enough to where the grass underneath it doesn't get any sunlight. So it is just dead gray grass. And then along the side of the houses, where during the spring and summertime, the sun's more in the north coming across, and then more overhead the house during the summer. The sun doesn't hit specific spots on the side of the house over here. So, I mean, there's just a maybe inch and a half strip of grass just along the side of the house that is gray and dead. So, I mean, and I don't know what you can really do about that. Maybe you could put a border around it. I'd love to turn the front over, or the side over here, into a maybe like a mulch little bed with some nice wood like walls. I don't know how that would go over. I mean, they don't mow underneath there because they don't have to. But so we've been having problems with the tractors and the standing mowers that they're using, because the people that are driving them, as much as I hate blaming people for things, the people that have been driving them have been doing turns at the end, instead of going into like a driveway to turn around to do like a 180, they're planting their wheel in the grass and doing a 180 and then continuing to mow. And it's tearing up yards, which, you know, you don't want that. Of course you don't want that. So people have complained, and now there's a survey out there, and it's just so strange to me that there's a survey out there saying, are you willing to raise the amount of money we spend on lawn care next year so that they can push mow the front yards? And it's, you know, if that solves the problem, I don't have a problem with it personally. The issue is, why is it that we really have to pay more to fix a problem they created? They're turning around in the grass, dragging their wheel around and tearing up the grass in order to solve the problem of them turning around and tearing up the grass without like going to a paved area, doing a turnaround and coming back like a normal person would. We have to pay extra for them to mow with a push mower, which solves the problem that they created. There's just a lot going on there that just breaks my brain a little bit. They've created a problem that can only be solved by paying them more money. And that's awful. That's ridiculous. But, I mean, it doesn't affect our lawn, really, because it just seems like our grass has rooted properly, so it can take some abuse. Plus, there's just straight shots back and forth, and it's like that with everybody's yard. It's just straight shots back and forth to mow the yard. They can go from one driveway and then drive the tractor over to another driveway, or one sidewalk and then drive it over the other sidewalk and then do a turnaround and then come back through. They can do that everywhere. Everybody's front yard is the same. It's just that there are particular yards where they've decided they're just going to put their brakes on in the middle of the grass, stick one tire, turn with the other tire, you know, basically grinding up the grass underneath. And I mean, our one neighbor in front here has had to reseed his lawn at least twice. Luckily, it had rained right after he put the seed down, so the seeds took really quickly. So it looks better than it did, but they were really tearing up the grass. And it's just strange to me that the acceptable solution that was proposed for everyone is pay them extra to do it correctly. I'm sure this has been brought up by the other old people, because the other old people don't want to spend the money, especially since some of them already go out after the folks have already professionally mowed with their battery-powered push mowers and push mow even more. So, I don't want people mowing their own yards. I do not want that. I do not want that seed planted so that people that come in next to the board who are elected grow that seed to make it so that we have to mow our own yards somehow at some point. I do not want that, because that is what people will do. It's a weird dichotomy where people think things can be a certain way, and then bad ideas are seen as solutions. You know, it's just weird. And I'm not mowing my own yard. And I don't want people breaking into quads of 4, paying different lawn service companies. I want it all done at once. Thank you so much for watching. I already told you I was going to cut it short, and then I didn't. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great day, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.